the American Society of Naval Engineers, Freemasons, the Navy League, the Naval Order of the United States. How about the Naval Postgraduate School Association, or Toastmasters? Each one of these represents an organization I could have joined when I came to Monterey. I elected to join Toastmasters. But why Toastmasters? 30 years ago, I'm in high school. I belong to the Order of the Arrow. This is a service branch of the Boy Scouts of America. It's based upon traditional American Indian lore. And in Order of the Arrow, while we do service projects to support the Boy Scouts, in the evening we perform elaborate Indian ceremonies as initiations and inducting and advancing people. There was one scout, about 2 years senior to me, who could deliver these tremendously long and complicated monologues filled with traditional Indian words as if he were speaking them as his own words. You didn't know he was rehearsing or presenting a script. He was a member of Toastmasters. One of his honors was he had won a speaking competition in which he had won $3,000 as a scholarship. This is 1980. $3,000 in 1980 was a lot of money. He impressed me tremendously, and it has always stuck with me. This is when I first learned about Toastmasters. But life, a wife, 3 kids, naval career, sea duty, I just never seemed to be able to find the time to join Toastmasters until Monterey. Now you would think as a naval officer, Toastmasters would be something all the officers of the school would be flocking to. We all have to speak in public, whether it's to our own little division of maybe 5 to 12 people, to a department that could range from 50 to 450 people, or to your entire command. We are called upon to give speeches. But I never found the time. I was always too busy. Now in my career, I've had training on crisis speaking, how to do media training. What do you do if somebody shoves the microphone in your face and they want to ask you some tough, hard questions? The rules are very simple. 3 thoughts, 9 seconds, 27 words. And you're all looking at me going, what is he talking about? Well, look back and think. And you'll see him on TV this weekend. Look how Rudy Giuliani handled 9/11. 3 thoughts, 9 seconds, 27 words in every soundbite he delivered. And if you really want to see a master of crisis speaking, go back and look at Norman Schwarzkopf's interview by Barbara Walters. She was gunning for him. We all watched, waiting to see if Barbara Walters could get one over on the general. He got it over on her. So, 3 thoughts, 9 seconds, 27 words. But that's not giving a speech. That's crisis communications. If you listen to that 9 seconds repeated over and over and over, it gets boring. So, Toastmasters. There are 3 potential reasons why. First, to protect and improve the art of speech making. If you remember, in the history of society, one of the most revered members of the village was the storyteller. He was the keeper and the guardian of the oral history of the village. The printed word made the storyteller's job a little bit inconsequential. We wrote it all down. But think about it. Even though we have our written history, we're all captivated by a great storyteller. The second potential reason, you want to help other people. You enjoy speaking. You join an organization that is about speaking. and you help people who aren't so good at public speaking. That's a very noble cause. It's always good to mentor somebody else in a skill that you either particularly enjoy or that you're particularly good at. Or how about another reason? Just to have fun. I mean, for 10 minutes, I have your undivided attention fixed upon me. I own the stage. You are my world. And boy, do I love to talk. And there's lots of us out there in the room, which is why we come to Toastmasters. Those are all three potentially good reasons to join Toastmasters. But I'll tell you, in my career here in Toastmasters, I do have three shortcomings I've identified. One, I never really gave back to the club. I came here, I had a captive audience, I could give my speeches. I just never made the time, not found the time, made the time to mentor somebody in the club. That denied me that relationship with an up-and-coming speaker, whether it be an international student or an American naval officer who was just not comfortable speaking. Shortcoming on my part. Second potential item. One of the reasons I joined was to learn how to draft speeches. I never really got that down. I've got 20 years of training of being able to talk in an authoritative manner on about any topic in the world, no matter how little I know about it. You come to think about it, I ought to become a politician. So that was the number two reason, to learn how to draft a better speech. I got better, but not as good as I could have been. And finally, it's unfortunate Carl's not here, it's this left hand. Hey, I got the right hand down good. And, I'm starting to work the left hand into my actions and move around a little bit. I did figure it out, though. On the ship, there's always a cup of coffee in my left hand. I only talk with my right hand. Unfortunately, we don't give speeches with drinks in our hands up here. So, three shortcomings that I have in Toastmasters. But there are also opportunities. There will be another club. And I can go learn how to use my hands, how to work the entire audience, and maybe introduce the cup of coffee to Toastmasters. But as I look out amongst you, why did you join Toastmasters? Now, we've got several international students here. And they've talked about they joined to learn how to speak English better, to work on the grammar, to work on their diction. And those are all great things to do. But remember, Toastmasters is international. And maybe in your home country, you can give your speeches in your own native tongue and not be tripped up by English. So maybe that's why you joined. If you look across our club members, we have several who are in businesses that deal with people or they're in sales. And they're here to hone their salesmanship skills and their interpersonal skills. And that's a great reason to join. And then you think about some of the other folks that speaking is an integral part of their business, more so than the salesman. I mean, we have an attorney or two in the room. We even have a weatherman in here who has to speak to the one-eyed monster. He doesn't even get an audience. All great reasons to be in Toastmasters. Now I want to leave you with three challenges. Give back to the club. Don't be like me. I only took. I rarely gave back. Find somebody and mentor them. There's always somebody out there that needs your help and your skill, that you can help them give and draft a better speech, and you'll be a better speech crafter and speech giver for it. The simplest thing you can do in a leadership role in the club is respond to the Toastmasters first email. There's nothing more frustrating than it being Thursday afternoon and half the billets are filled and nobody's volunteered to step in. So, how about with the club? Uh-oh. Have fun in Toastmasters. It's a great place to be. You have a captive, willing, and forgiving audience. Give the goofy speech. Give the speech on the topic for which you know very little. Give the dangerous speech. They won't punish you for it. They may think you're strange, but they won't punish you for it. And finally, like I said, mentor somebody in the club. So why Toastmasters? Because 30 years ago, I heard somebody give an incredible monologue script as if he was speaking it, and he learned that skill in Toastmasters. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.